You know, you mentioned, of course, those scores of those games. The Iowa high school playoffs started last week as well on Wednesday. They had 2 games in this dome, and they're going to have some more here before it's all over.
Backs in the eye, wide out split. 1st and 10 at the 12. Hand off to Beatty. This time, no gain. Nice job stuffing up the middle that time by the Spartan defense. But right now, we're looking at the first quarter all over again, aren't we? Second quarter, both the offense and defense of AU had made tremendous gains, but we're back to the early portion of the first period again. As Wartburg on the move, a 2nd and 10 from the 12. 11:20 to go, third quarter, 13-0 Knights.
Well, they're taking an awful lot of time. Play clock down to 10, 9, 8, and they're just now walking up to the line of scrimmage.
Better not be a long count. We know that for sure. Backs in the eye. 2,
they won't
1.
Get it off.
They're not going to get it off. Boy, that's a nice break for Aurora University. Too much time.
Yeah, now he never threw the flag, but the quarterback tried to call timeout before the clock expired. And
oh, they're going to give him the timeout?
Oh, my goodness. Well,
you know, obviously, when you're on the road, you know, things happen. But there's no question.
No question at all.
The quarterback didn't even know the clock expired until the whistle came, and then he put his hands up to call the timeout. He was 3 seconds late in calling that timeout at least. Yeah, dome sweet dome indeed. There's no doubt about that. Boy, oh boy, did they catch a huge break. I mean, this is important stuff. You're talking about knocking on the door there at Aurora University's 12-yard line. A 2nd and 10 from the 12. It could have been 2nd and 15. And all of a sudden, no, they give them the timeout that they did not deserve, plain and simple. That is too bad. The quarterback was still under center when that clock went to 0. Well, need a good set of wheels? Shop Bob's Oswego Motors, where they inspect, warranty, and service their used cars, trucks, and minivans. Owner Bob Galvin will pay top dollar for your trade, or he'll sell it for you. Bob's Oswego Motors, home of the used car consultants, 11 South Madison, Oswego, across from the post office. 2nd and 10 from the 12. Again, the I formation, tight behind the QB. Sprint out left for Elijah, has time to look, throws into the left corner of the end zone, incomplete, right in the hands of Don Smith. It should have been 6, and he just dropped it.
Not a whole lot to say about that. He did flat out drop that ball. Brian Tucker was a couple steps behind him, and once he did drop it, he knew it. Brian gave him a little push, and he just went to the turf and kind of sat there for a few seconds going, how did I miss that?
We'll take it.
Yeah.
It becomes 3rd and 10 from the 12. Again, defense has to rise to the occasion one more time.
Well, this is what we talked about here, the first 5 minutes or so of the third quarter being very pivotal, and this is a big play right here.
2 wideouts left, one to the right. Sprint out left to try to get away from that blitz. Quarterback will take it himself. He's to the 5, and he goes into the end zone for the touchdown.
Oh, my. What a great play by Mike Elijah. 6'2", 175-pound junior from Tipton just showed a burst around that end and dove in from about the 5-yard line and just inside the cone.
Well, and we really haven't seen him run at all today.
No, and that was some speed that he showed right there.
Oh, man,
wow.
Did he turn the corner. I'm surprised they don't run him more. He has flat out good speed.
The Spartans ran the blitz right up the middle, and he ran right away from it. Some guys had the angle on him and everything else, and obviously a head start. They were already going full speed when they were coming at him, and all of a sudden he turned it on and ran away from him.
Timeout Spartans. They wanted to make sure they had things right. And they're set up for the PAT. 10:48 to go, third quarter, 19-0. The Knights have the lead. Here they go. They're going to go for the 2-point conversion. Backs in the eye. Option play. Quarterback Elijah to keep it on the left end, and he gets in. So the 2-point conversion works. It becomes a 21-0 Knights lead. 10:48 to go. Here in our third quarter, we'll have the kickoff after we take a 1-minute break right here on WKKD. Welcome back to the UNI-Dome. Cedar Falls, Iowa. Wartburg on the board with their third touchdown lead at 21-0. Spartans back to receive. This time Kevin Summers, and also back there for Aurora University is Mike Warrose. So Natividad not back on this one. It'll be Warrose from the 5, right up the gut. And he will get to about the 20-yard line, and that's where that wedge collapsed, and that's where he goes down, and Spartans will start from there.
Well, the special teams for the Knights today have just done an outstanding job. Do you recall a kickoff return coming out past the 20-yard line?
Not at all.
The wedge has just been chiseled away. They have not been able to even develop a wedge on their returns, the Spartans, that is. As Wartburg has really attacked the return man.
Spartans come out 1st and 10. Bruckner and Dixon in the I formation. Doherty right, Robertson left. Sprint out by Avery. Pitches it out to Dixon. Has some running room. Breaks a tackle. Nice job and gets to about the 29-yard line. About a good 9-yard pickup by Danny Dixon.
We mentioned some high school playoff action. Mark Palatine 7, Wheaton Warrenville South 7 in the first quarter. Downers Grove South leads St. Charles 7-0 late in the first quarter. Naperville Central 20-0 lead over Joliet Township in the second quarter, and a college score, University of Iowa Hawkeyes 7, NIU nothing in the second quarter. They're not too far away from us here.
Not at all. Iowa City. Counter handoff by Bruckner coming from the right to left. He's got the first down and 5 more yards. Good 6-yard pickup by Bruckner. 1st and 10 Spartans on their own 35. Well, the one thing the Spartans have lacked this year, I will say, is that big play capability. All year long, every touchdown they get, they have to work so hard for. And again, that's when you miss big play type of performances by a Derek team and so on. You know, those guys, they can, boom, one play, get in the end zone. There's been a couple like that from George Monaco this year, but, you know, to be honest, those kind of plays have been few and far between. Every touchdown drive is going to be long drives and key third down conversions and so on. Pitch out to Dixon. He's got some running room here, but closes up on him after about a 6-yard pickup on that right side. He looked forward. All of a sudden, there were some black shirts in his way.
Yeah, it did close up on him in a hurry. He still got about 7 yards out of the play, but the quick pitch by Derek Avery almost pitched that right over a Wartburg player, and then proceeded to run upfield and try and throw a block for Dixon as well. We've seen 14 do that plenty of times this year. I'm not sure that's the best idea. Your quarterback, your most valuable guy out there trying to throw blocks, but he's not one to shy away from contact.
Not at all. 2nd and 3. They gave him 7 yards on that one. I formation. 2-step drop. Quick slant in pattern to Silvestri, and he heard some footsteps, and he had to extend himself, and off his fingertips down to the ground, incomplete.
Well, as much as you can hear footsteps here on the turf.
Well, yeah, exactly.
He certainly did, though. Now, why the officials stopped the...
I didn't see a flag. Yeah, but they're talking something over. 3rd and 3, unless they decide to call some sort of infraction. I'm not sure what, but head linesman's going to go over and talk to Jim Scott apparently about something.
We're looking at the scoreboard. Who's who? Yeah, he's saying who's got the headset.
Or maybe about the time. They may have to change the clock up here. So the clock right now says 8:45 to go in the third quarter. And they're going to have to put a few seconds back on that clock. Yep, it goes from 8:45 to 8:51 now. So that's what that's all about.
You know, you talked about the big play capability and the fact that they do lack that pretty much that we've seen. We really haven't been able to do that on a regular basis at all. And one of the guys I did see before the game who would love to be in a uniform and with some shoulder pads on right now, Rodney Stinson, who's a student assistant. He would thrive on this AstroTurf today, I have a feeling.
Yeah, we wouldn't have minded having that. Sprint out for Avery, being chased from behind, flag on the play. He'll take it himself and really not get much of anything, maybe a yard before he's run out of bounds, shy of the first down. And let's see what the flag's all about.
Well, the side judge on this side of the field, as Derek ran towards him, he threw the flag. And that's, yeah, I think he is going to catch a Spartan. The pulling guard was pulling a little bit too hard.
So it's a hold, and instead of a 4th and 1, it'll be the 3rd down, and very long now, as they'll walk it off, I would imagine. Now we're back down to 8:45 to go third quarter, 21-0. Wartburg has the lead as they try to win their 8th in a row. They would go to 8-1. Of course, Spartans, if a loss here, that means they'd end their year at 4-5, and it'd be the first time in a while that they would end the season again under 500, as this team has been used to knocking on the door of postseason play here of late.
Well, not only would the season be ending, his career would be ending for 12 Spartans. Chad Robertson, Doug Bruin, Brad Frederick, Rob Deming, Adam Budaselich, John Dobb, Mike Stetter, Nick Capitano, John Modaf, Dana Johnson, Eric Shaver, Tim Hines, Jeff Kuna, and Brad Delphi.
Straight drop back for Avery. Now runs out of the pocket, still on his feet, throws over the middle. It's going to be incomplete, and he just dumped that one away to avoid the sack. He got clobbered anyway, but it'll be 4th down at about 15, and Spartans will have to punt it away. Yeah, but for those seniors, even if it ends in a loss, it's still not a bad way to end your careers and playing a game in a nice facility like this.
Absolutely. It's a great, certainly memorable way to go out. Even if things don't turn around on the scoreboard, you can always say you played here, that's for sure.
And Draper will let it go from about his own 20. One man back. Good snap. Draper gets it blocked. It's going to go to about the 10-yard line. Picked up right there by Dave Edwards of Wartburg. And it's going from bad to worse right now.
Well, take your pick of which guy was going to block that, too. They had one from each side, and Dave Edwards was the one who finally fell on the ball as it went inside the 10-yard line. But things go, like you say, bad to worse at this point. Again, the Aurora U defense goes out to try and protect their goal line right away.
No doubt. They're back up there with the backs against the wall one more time. And we said this thing could have got ugly in a hurry in the first 5 minutes of the game or so. It may get there eventually. It's just taking longer than we thought. They punch one in here. Hand off Beatty, right side, cuts back middle, spins away at the 5,
Still on his feet.
And he's going to go all the way to the 1. My goodness.
Wow, what a great run. He thought about going to the outside, stopped, cut to the inside, and spun, as a matter of fact, spun away from a couple blockers and just kept trying to fall forward, and that's what he did. He went all the way down to the 1-yard line, as you mentioned.
2nd and goal from the 1. 8 minutes to go in this 3rd period.
Well, we said the first 5-7 minutes very pivotal. Well, they're looking to put 2 scores on the board in the first 7.
And off left side. The officials have not signaled as of yet. Everybody else did, but no official has put them in. The fullback, Hudson, got close, but apparently did not cross the plane. It'll be now 3rd and goal. About the inch line. Well, Spartan D making them earn it. Boy, nice crowd. I'd say definitely at least 3,000. It's a shame they only have the 2 concession stands open on that one side of this dome. I guess at halftime it was just a zoo. And off again off the right side this time. Hudson goes in for the score. 1-yard plunge. And the touchdown for Wartburg. They'll try for the 1-point kick to try to go up 28-0. 7:12 to go, 3rd quarter.
Well, not only 2 concessions made things bad for those folks, but bad for you before this game started. You had to run all the way over there, get a couple of pops, and run all the way back up these steps. I've never seen you out of breath like that before.
Well, I'm out of shape, man. Here comes the kick. That proved it. On the way, and it is no good, and Walsh maybe got a fingertip on it.
I think he did.
Wide left and deflected it. No good. Yeah, the problem is, see, it's Wartburg playing at Northern Iowa, so this is not really their facility, so they cannot provide the media with the drinks and things that you would normally get at other places because it's just not their place. They can't, take Northern Iowa's possessions, etc., and pass them out, so I had to stand on that line before the ball game and then run back on to get on the air here in time. But anyway, 7:12 to go, 3rd quarter, 27-0. Knights have the lead. Kickoff in 1 minute on WKKD. On the kick, Warrows from the 10 out to about the 24-yard line. Spartans 1st and 10 from the 24, trailing 27-0 here in the 3rd period. They can try to make something happen. Robertson right, Doherty left. I formation. Bruckner and Dixon behind Avery. And off. Dixon bounces outside. Another nice cut to bounce outside again and shed a tackler, but flag on the play, and that hard-fought gain of 4 is going to come back, I would imagine.
Well, right where he ran to, again, the side judge said, well, there's a little bit too much contact, too much being initiated by a Spartan there, and he called another hold.
And we were talking about the fact that 12 seniors playing their last game for Aurora University.
I incorrectly counted, by the way.
Okay.
I think I counted 14 here actually last time.
That's all right.
Nonetheless, well, John Modaf obviously has not been in Jersey all season, but he's a very instrumental part of the Spartan program, and he's very disappointed he's not able to play today. But knee injury and things that took him out for this year. That type of stuff does happen.
But really, for the most part, this is a very young ball club. There's a lot of key players coming back for next year. Well, it'll be a 1st and 20 after the holding call. Pro set, straight drop back for Avery. Looks to the right side.
There we go.
Throws. Robertson coming back, makes the catch. Nice job. Got about 12 of those yards back. So they get the ball across the 25-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and about 8 yards to go.
Got some more scores here for you, Mr. Vasco. Palatine and Wheaton Warrenville South tied up 7-all in the 2nd quarter. Downers Grove South and St. Charles now tied up 7-all in the 2nd quarter. Naperville Central now leads Joliet Township 28-0 in the 2nd quarter. And in the 2nd quarter in Iowa City, it's Iowa 21, NIU 0.
2nd down and 8. Pro set again. Avery setting up in the pocket. Smothered. Absolutely smothered back at the 15-yard line for a big sack. Well, he set, looked up, and then the walls caved in.
Wow. And that was a pretty deep drop to start with. That one covered about a loss of another 10 or 11 yards.
Yep, that gain they just had of Robertson erased. Thanks to that sack. 3rd and about 20.
Well, actually, they're going to mark that at the 16, but by the time he got up, I think he was about the 10-yard line. He got knocked back that far.
And alive. 3rd and long for AU. Silvestri and Robertson left side. Bruckner a slot left. Dixon the lone setback. Sprint out left for Avery. Sets. Throws deep. He's got Robertson. No!
Oh.
Just through his fingertips at the 40-yard line of Wartburg. Well, he might have been able even to get a little dive to try to get a better grab at it, but it goes incomplete.
Oh, he's going to remember that one for a while. That ball was right there, right through the fingertips. What a great toss by Derek Avery. 50-some-odd yards right there in the air. Right on the money.
Such a strong arm. Boy, and he had his man beaten by a step, and he was there. Boy, they've had a couple chances like that in those long ones today, and they just have not been able to get it to work. Well, the punt will come from about the 5-yard line. That's where Draper will put the foot to it. And this will be one of his, worst punts of the day, frankly, a short one, plus about a 6-yard return to about the 38-yard line of Aurora U in Wartburg. We'll start from there with 5:06 to go, 3rd quarter, 27-0 Knights. I'm going to mention some of the key people coming back. I mean, really offensively, as far as those skill positions, the majority of them coming back. I mean, Derek Avery coming back for his senior season. Talk about your running backs. Danny Dixon back for another year. Alan Bruckner back for another year. You've got the other young running backs. Monaco coming back for a couple more years. Summers coming back. He was only a freshman this year. I mean, a lot of those players coming back indeed. Backs in the eye, handoff off the left side. Gain of about maybe 3 yards or so for Bobby Beatty.
There's some other promising young players as well. He didn't mention people like Bobby Gonzalez, who didn't see that much action, but it certainly will in the future. And you touch on the Ross Drapers and the Drew Averys and the Ryan Walshes. Those guys are going to be very instrumental in the Spartan program in the next 3-4 years.
Without a doubt. One question, Tom McCoy, even the tight end, he'll be back for another year. That's just the offensive side of the ball, but the one question is maybe about the backup quarterback. We mentioned that Derek Avery's coming back, but, then what? Slant in pattern, complete, 1st down yards to the 25 of Aurora University. Bruce Wall on the receiving end because, again, as far as the backup is concerned, Rob Deming using up his eligibility. So now you have to take a look at who would be the backup quarterback to Avery for next year, and that's going to be an interesting question they're going to have to solve. 1st and 10 Wartburg at the 24. Backs in the eye, wide out split. Pitch out right side. Cutting back is Beatty, spins away, but it cannot get any farther than the 20-yard line. Picked up about 3, maybe 4 yards.
No sooner than you did mention Rob Deming, that he did stand up now and is throwing on the sideline. So I imagine we will see him through the 4th quarter.
Well, again, why not?
Game.
Let the senior play some on his last day, no doubt. 3:25 to go, third quarter. 27-0 Knights. Again, the I formation, wideouts to either side. Elijah, the quarterback, fakes the handoff, rolls to the right, throws a little dump pass, fullback out of the backfield, complete to the 10, down at about the 8-yard line. It'll be a 1st and goal. Wide open play.
They have had a lot of those today.
I'm afraid so.
You really have used the whole field and used it well. They spread things out so well, and guys coming across the middle have been wide open, and just great timing by Mike Elijah. He's been leading guys very nicely. And that one in particular, Hudson, just enough, and gave it to him just the right timing so that he was able to catch it and turn up field. If he waited any longer, he wouldn't have had enough room to turn up field. He had to go out of bounds.
Pitch out right side, Beatty. Kuna got him in the backfield, stood him up. Bruin and Forrest ends up knocking him down back at the about the 8-yard line, so that ends up losing a yard or two. One setback, looking to throw, slant in pattern, good defense. Again, the ball knocked down right there at the goal line, and stepping in front, Brian Tucker to help out.
He said, look at this, because we could see that one developing right away. He looked at the receiver the whole time, and Brian Tucker just stepped up and made contact. They kind of hit together right at the same time the ball got there, and Brian Tucker was able to get a hand in there and knock it down.
3rd down and goal from the 8-yard line. So again, the AU defense has to step forward, make another big play. See what happens. Double wing. Now they're going to put a man in motion left, so actually he trips to the left in one setback. Looking to throw left side. Knocked around and intercepted by Aurora University. Warrows around the 10, the 15, 20, left sideline 25, 28-yard line and out of bounds. Mike Warrows on the pick for AU.
Definitely a mix-up that time by Wartburg, and Mike Elijah, his receiver, cut to the outside, and he threw it to the inside, and it was tipped by Tracy Forrest. Mike Warrows right there to snag it. And what I really liked about that was the end of that play, Mike Warrows decided, hey, I'm going to get tackled here. Somebody's going to take some punishment for it. He lowered his shoulder and knocked a couple guys back as he went down to the turf.
So it will be 1st and 10, Aurora University at their own 27-yard line. Rob Deming indeed is in at the quarterback spot. I formation behind him. Handoff, Bruckner. Nope, excuse me, he had faked to Bruckner. Good fake, because he ended up keeping the ball and got about 2 yards, but faked me out at least, and it's going to be 2nd and 8. 1:35 to go, third quarter, 27-0. The Knights have the lead.
I want to take this moment rather quickly, Mark, to say a thank you to a couple buddies of mine that I would be totally remiss if I did not mention this. Thank you to Rich Farrell and Chris Frunzer. You guys are very much appreciated.
Okay.
That's just a personal note. I had to throw that out. I almost forgot about that.
Trips to the left, a quick out pattern, going to be complete, but really for no gain is all, as they got the ball to one of the wideouts. Matter of fact, I'm still having a hard time picking up that number. I think it was 34, and that'd be Shaka Rawls, the freshman from Chicago. And
that is not Shaka Rawls, believe me.
I didn't think so, but that's the number on the jersey as it is. It's no gain, and it's going to be 3rd and long.
Well, that could be Tony Berry. We have seen Tony switch jerseys before.
You could be right. Deming, play action, rolls to the right side, being chased. Throws. McCoy caught it on his knees at about the 33-yard line. It's going to be 4th down and about 5 yards to go, however, after that pickup. Yeah, my guess would be Barry on that one. 26 seconds to go here in this quarter. We'll see if the Spartans get the punt off before this period comes to an end. 4th down, about 5. I got about a 5-hour drive on the way home to find out about that, so that's all right. And let's see. They will not get the punt away, and that'll do it for 3 periods. At the end of 3 quarters in the UNI-Dome, Knights 27, Spartans nothing. Back in 1 minute on WKKD. Draper's punt gets it away from the 23 and back at about the 28-yard line. And then a return only to about the 31. So short return that time by Chad Klunder. Good coverage. And Wartburg will have it 1st and 10 from there.
Yeah, one-on-one tackle by Ryan Walsh. Great job avoiding one block and catching him from behind. You think maybe we waited so we could kick with the wind that time?
I think that's what it was. 14:52 to go in the football game. 27-0. The Knights have the lead, and therefore 14:52 to go in the season for Spartan football. And next year, if you look at the schedule, doesn't get any easier. Matter of fact, gets a bit harder. Next couple of years, this schedule goes up a notch or two. And it was already a tough one. Fullback gets the dive, just the handoff up the middle of Hudson, gets about 2 yards is all, 2nd and long.
You know, Mark, speaking of schedules, another sport will be starting very soon at Aurora University. That, of course, is basketball. And if you want information, of course, call Sports Information Director Dave Byer. But, folks, if you don't come out to Thornton Gymnasium to see the most exciting 6-foot basketball player in the country, you will truly be missing something. Greg Kemp performing for his senior year, and someone who definitely plays above the rim at 6 foot.
And there's no doubt about it, Greg Kemp is one exciting player, and they've got a few other exciting players this year, too. Handoff, Beatty trying to get outside, but Avery cut off the corner on him and allowed Delphi to catch him from behind, knock him to the ground, but still pretty good gain across the 40 to the 41. It'll be just shy of the first down.
Flag all the way on the far side, Mark. Looked like motion against the Knights.
And it's going to be offsides on Aurora U instead.
Okay. Shows how much I know.
Well, so much
he threw
for that.
that away on the far side and threw it right at the snap. It looked like there was some movement on the Wartburg line, but...
yeah, they're going to walk it off.
Well, unofficially, the 6th penalty against Aurora U. 49 yards in penalties against the Spartans. Whereas Wartburg had 4 penalties for 40 yards in the first half. They have yet to be penalized here, I do believe, in the second half.
I think you're right. It's a shame. A lot of Spartan fans made the trip here for this football game, but to be totally honest, they have not had a chance to stand up and cheer too much. After the walk-off, actually it becomes a 2nd down, about 3 yards to go for Wartburg. And the handoff, Beatty right side. Boy, nice fake. Gets outside, gets the first down across the 45. They were there 47-yard line, 1st and 10.
Well, I got to imagine he's pretty close to 100 yards right now, which would put him over 1,000 for the year. And he showed right there why he has excelled and had so much success, because he has some speed and he certainly has some moves, and this turf, great traction. He was diving there, juking and jiving back and forth and just avoiding some Spartan tacklers. Great body control.
Backs in the eye on 1st down. Play action pass, sets, throws, right side, complete, 1st down yardage, the 40, 38, and then finally ridden out of bounds at about the 37-yard line of Aurora U. Another 1st down for Wartburg.
Unofficially 1st down number 14 for the Knights. In a particular play again, down and out, and just in between the zone coverage of the Spartans. Mike Worrell's a little bit late getting over there. By the time they rode him out of bounds, he was all the way inside the 40.
Just a question, what was the passing yardage for Avery in the first half?
80 passing yards for Derek Avery.
Because he didn't have that many more in the third quarter. And that means he's going to be close to that 1,000-yard mark for the year, but I don't think he's going to get there because I think Avery, or I should say Deming, is going to be in the rest of the way, I would think.
Yeah, he needed another 103 yards passing today to reach 1,000 for the season.
And I don't think he got there. Like I say, I think Deming's going to be in for the rest of the way. Penalty here against Wartburg, so they'll walk it off. And that 1st and 10 from the Spartan 38 is going to go back to 1st and 15, back at about the 43.
Well, the program obviously built on the run. Some of these passing numbers aren't all that impressive, but they are yet school records coming into today. Derek Avery had 63 completions on the season, which is a school record. Also 136 attempts, which was a school record. Another number that's a record, Chad Robertson, 5 touchdown receptions on the season, which is also an AU record.
2 wide receivers to the right side. 1 left. Here comes the blitz. The pass into the right flat's going to be complete, but going to be worth about 7 yards or so before the Wartburg receiver finally forced out of bounds. But good fight there by Jason Lehman in a sense. He wouldn't give up, and he got a couple more yards out of that, despite the fact he had some white jerseys all over him.
Yeah, he had Mike Worrells kind of hanging on him, and he tried to stand up and run, dragging Mike along with him. He was able to do that for about a 5-yard gain. Great second effort. 2nd
down, a long 6, really, just outside the Spartan 32, with 12-18 to go in the football game. 27-0. Wartburg has the lead. Chance to go to the postseason. 2 wideouts left. Handoff. Beatty up the gut to the 30 to pick up about 3 yards. And it'll be 3rd down from there and about 3 more to go. Again, Wartburg was, 4th in their region, I believe, before this weekend. So win here should certainly solidify their chances to get to a playoff.
Would imagine so. They do have, I believe, one more game next week. That they do. They host Loris College in Waverly, a 1 p.m. start.
Dave Beyer says Avery ends up 929 passing yards for this year, so just shy of that 1,000-yard mark. Rolling out, Elijah's throw over the head of the intended receiver, incomplete, becomes 4th down. About 2 yards to go, and let's see what they decide to do from about that 29-yard line. You know, if he would have connected on any one of those passes over the middle for deep yards, he would have had that 1,000, but a couple of them that were just overled. So 4th down and 2 or so. And don't forget, on our FM side, a lot more action to come. Right now, it's Wheaton South and Palatine on the FM side, Pure Gold 96, but at 4 o'clock for Northern Illinois. At Iowa, 6:30 for Chicago Power Soccer at Harrisburg. Straight drop back. Elijah throws,
nice
complete
play
out of the left flat, and this is going to go for a score. Then the left sideline, the touchdown, Bruce Wall.
Wow, what a nice play.
Flag on the play, however. Let's see if it comes back. The flag's along that line of scrimmage.
Well, they ran a back screen the other way. He caught the ball out of the backfield coming across.
And it's going to be
illegal use of the hands,
illegal use of hands on Wartburg, so it will indeed come back. The touchdown does not count. But boy, oh boy, Wall got to the outside in a hurry and then just turned on the afterburners on that left sideline and won the race into the end zone. But AU catches the break on the illegal use of hands. And after the walk-off, it becomes a 4th down, about 7 yard to go situation, back just inside the Spartan 35.
I really liked the way that play developed. They brought the man in motion to this side, and Wall then lined up on the far side. He came right across, and 2 guys came back and threw some reverse direction blocks, and he just caught the ball and had plenty of room running around the corner and outran 4 Spartans to the cone.
2 wideouts left. Straight drop back by Elijah. Pump fake, in trouble. Lets it go for all of it. Towards the end zone. A great dive and a knockdown by Ryan Walsh. Incomplete. Almost hung on to that for the interception.
That he did, almost an over-the-shoulder interception by Ryan Walsh. He and Drew Avery right there step for step. He was beyond the receiver. Drew Avery underneath the receiver. And ball was thrown a little bit long. Ryan was right there to bat it away.
11-17 to go in the game. Spartans hold again on downs as there have been a lot of 4th downs Wartburg's tried for, and they haven't been successful on too many. They're about 1 for 5 today, I think. Spartans get the ball back on their 34. 1st down, Deming the quarterback. Backs in the eye. Option play, Deming pitches it out to Dixon. Tries to get outside, cannot, and he will be knocked down at about the 40-yard line, still picked up about 6. Tried to split the difference between his blocker and the defender and couldn't do it.
Trying to figure out which one to do there. Tom McCoy was the one throwing the lead block as Dixon now kind of staggers a little bit off to the sideline, and the trainers are going to take a look at him.
I think he got a helmet in the ribs.
Yeah.
He is feeling it.
A situation where Tom McCoy was out in the lead block, and Tom was just kind of pushing. Hey, knock that guy down. Don't keep messing with him. He was trying to run a screen, trying to stay in between he and the Dixon.
Pitch out, Kevin Summers. Thank you, Jeff. And that last play, Kevin Summers got the pitch left, got the 1st down to the 45-yard line. And Spartans fresh set of downs.
How much of that traffic are we going to catch in Iowa City on the way back?
I thought about that. Natividad to the right, Robertson to the left. Play action, looking for Natividad. Nope, instead over the middle to McCoy. Complete, 1st down, 41-yard line of Wartburg. Injured Wartburg player on the ground right now, but nope, he's going to pop up.
Also McCoy. Looked like he got the wind knocked out of him. He's also down. But you started to say Natividad because you thought, that he was going to throw it to Rick. Rick had just basically went in a fly pattern and was all by himself at about the 25, 30-yard line. And You know, instead he threw to his short receiver, which was McCoy. But if he would have looked a little bit farther downfield, everybody bit on the McCoy right away when they saw Tom come off the line of scrimmage, and he certainly had Nativity wide open for 6.
You know, they're taking a look at McCoy and Chris Loren out there and taking a long look at him at this point. 10:01 to go in the football game. 27-0. Wartburg has the lead. Why don't we take a break? Let's come back after this 1-minute timeout on WKKD. Well, McCoy ends up just popping up and walking off under his own power. Maybe just had the wind knocked out of him. Deming on the rollout left, throws downfield, and it's going to be incomplete. And interesting because it looked like Silvestri had his feet knocked out from under him, but no flag or anything, just an incomplete pass.
Yeah, the pass was not as much intended for Andy Silvestri as I think it might have been for a cheerleader from Wartburg over there. That ball was well overthrown.
I bet the cheerleader's pretty happy this is indoors as well today. A little easier to get their job done.
Especially when you're wearing shorts like most of them are.
Yeah, no doubt. Backs in the eye, slot left, counter handoff by Summers. Breaks away from one tackler down to the 31-yard line. Close to that first down by Kevin Summers. First time we've seen that formation all day to get that counter handoff.
Nice little job there by Kevin Summers to bounce to the outside. You know, that commercial was for the Ultimate Sports Dome, Mark, and this is quite an impressive little dome here as well.
Yeah, this is pretty much the ultimate little sports dome, too. You can tell it's built.
You and I keep ranting and raving about this through this entire game.
Well, Dave Byer's been taking
impressed.
notes. He's going to try to get the blueprints for this thing so we can take it back to Aurora. So, come on, you're going to spring for it, aren't you? Come on. Play action. Deming looks downfield, throws, double coverage. Silvestri.
Oh.
No, it's going to be intercepted right at the 5-yard line. Picked off by Dave Edwards, the DB from Bayonne, New Jersey.
Dave Edwards backpedaling. He saw it first, jumped before Andy and got to the ball. That's about all it was right there. He jumped earlier and was able to snare it.
So the turnover. Spartans have had a few of those today. And the Knights get the ball back.
I was going to say I'd be real surprised if Mike Elijah was still in the game, and he is not going to come out with this offense. It'll be Brian Nelson, the freshman. Nelson only thrown 20 passes on the season coming into today's action.
So Brian Nelson coming in, backs in the eye behind him as they start this possession from their 8-yard line after the interception. Hand off to the right side, gets to about the 10, and that's it before he is stacked up by a host of Spartans. It'll be second down and long.
Did you say that for Brad Melges' benefit there, host of Spartans?
Yes, I did. Second down.
I'm sure he's out covering a high school playoff game of some sort today.
I would think. Actually, about 2nd and 7 as they put the ball at the 11-yard line. First team defense still out there for AU. Handoff to the right side, and that plunge could get them the first down as Chad Briggs, a freshman running back from Waverly, Iowa, local product, got the handoff, and looks like he's got the first down.
Yeah,
yes, he does.
He got an awful favorable mark on that as well, because he hit, bounced, and rolled over, and they gave him the extra yard, I think, as well.
I think so. So fresh set of downs.
Several New Jerseys out there for Aurora U. John Dobb right in the middle. Brad Frederick as well, and in a corner.
They put in a couple of subs at a time now. Backs in the eye. Hand off to the fullback, and Avery had to come up from his safety spot to make the tackle after the first down again was made, I do believe, as on the carry that time for Wartburg. Brian Bina, 5'9", 210 senior from Wacoma, Iowa.
Looks like John Forsythe as well in there at a defensive back position.
Second down, actually in 1 yard to go from where they mark it. 2nd and 1 for Wartburg with 7.5 minutes to play. Wartburg up by 4 touchdowns. Handoff right side, and they're not going to get much more than the first down, but I still believe it's going to be enough for Briggs to move the sticks. It was 7:15 to go in the game.
And they will.
Yeah, AU going to be shut out today, it looks like, and it's been a long time since they've been blanked in a football game. I tell you what. First and 10 from the 31. Play action. Setting up to throw. Here's his pass. Oh, nice catch for the first down, and then out of bounds right by the marker for Paul Moeller, freshman tight end from Waverly. Good catch. Man, oh man, because Nelson zipped it in there at his hands, but he was able to snag it.
Well, it still remains to be seen, but Wartburg is not a playoff team that would be a shame. They certainly have shown that they have a lot of tools, and I mean, this is pretty much the second string offense right now, moving the ball pretty well.
No doubt about it.
Doing a lot of things right.
First and 10 at their own 42 in the tight I formation. Hand off to the fullback, and look at that second effort. Get him about 6-7 yards on the play again for Briggs. Actually, Brian Bina, I should say, on the carry that time. No, football next year for the Spartans. First football game will be September the 10th of '94 at Albion College in Michigan. September 17 would also be a road game at Wheaton College. For a couple of home games, September 24 against Drake, October the 1st against Hope. Then next year, October 8 at Olivet. October 22nd, they host IBC. 29th, they host Trinity, and wrap up with 2 games on the road at Valpo, and then on November 12 at the University of Evansville. So next year, the season will end even a week later than this year. So it'll be November 12 for their season finale at Evansville in Indiana. A very tough schedule indeed.
Mild understatement.
Yes.
A very tough schedule indeed. And then the 95, they reversed that home and away.
Same teams, yeah.
Same teams in the same order even.
Well, that last carry got him a 3rd and 1 now situation for Wartburg. Backs in the eye, 3rd and 1 across midfield at the Spartan 48. Handoff, first man through, and again, the fullback going to get the first down and across the 45, maybe to about the 44-yard line. So first down yardage for Wartburg, as it will be Briggs on the carry.
Jeff Rupert and Kevin Watson, among others. Brian Cooney. As Mike Stater comes off the field. Some hugs and high fives all along the Spartan sidelines. All these seniors finishing up.
Backs in the eye. First set of downs. Looking to throw, rolling out to the right side. Decides maybe I'll take it myself. Nope. Almost sacked in the backfield. Gets away.
He's got
now
him.
Throws. Got a man wide open at the 20. Breaks a tackle the 10. 5 touchdown.
Wow. Unreal.
Mitchell, or I should say Michael Hughes, caught the pass for the touchdown.
Ineligible.
But there was an ineligible man downfield to bring it all back.
Wow.
Well, and I can understand that because it really looked like the quarterback, Nelson, was going to run after he avoided the sack. So he had released to try to find a blocker or ran the block, and all of a sudden he lets it go. And boy, Drew Avery's not going to be happy with himself because he had a chance to stop that man at about the 20-yard line. And he broke away and went all the way into the end zone. But it's all coming back. 4:45 to go in the game. 27-0 the Knights lead. And it could have been worse except for that flag.
I'm going to say mark some others out there. Kevin Norwood, R.J. Erb. Getting some playing time here.
Get a chance to play on the turf here today. So they break the huddle. The walk-off puts them back on the Spartan 49. 1st and 15. Handoff right up the middle, and a gain right away of about 5-6 yards by Chad Briggs. 4.5 minutes to go in the Spartan season. Another Spartan checking in, Jeremy Warros.
Well, anytime you put as much time and effort, blood, sweat, and tears a lot of these guys have put into this, it's always tough to finally put the helmet down, especially since these guys have been very successful over their 4 years.
No doubt about that. Backs in the eye, play action, rolling right, looks, being chased by Walsh. Walsh won't let him go, drags him down as he's being thrown to the ground. Nelson got rid of the ball, but it just kind of falls harmlessly incomplete. You're not going to elude Walsh too often. No, so the Illini in some trouble. 3rd down and 10 here for Wartburg. Straight drop back, already in trouble, and then he's going to be knocked to the ground. So
Ball's
the
loose.
sack, ball did pop loose. I think Ron Walsh might have grabbed it, but it might be too late. But a great pass rush that time by the Spartan substitutes. There was like 2 different waves that came in to finally swallow him up.
Not sure which wave was what there, but Jeremy Worrells was in there, TJ Pazloff.
Brian Cooney was in there. And the loss goes all the way back to the 47 of Wartburg, and 4th down and about 20. And I'll have to punt it away. And Spartans will get one last chance to try to score some points here in this football game as Drew Avery back to receive at about the 20.
You mentioned Kevin Dotson also in that group that was putting some pressure on the quarterback.
Good snap. Oh, actually now bounces in, and it's going to be blocked. Loose ball.
Summers.
Kevin Summers picks it up. He's going to go all the way. Touchdown, Summers. Spartans get on the board. They avoid the shutout. Boy, you know, I said good snap because it started out high, but all of a sudden it just died. It just did not have enough on it before it got to the punter. Bounced in. He couldn't handle it. Got the kick away, but then the block, and Summers picked it up at about the 20 and waltzed in.
Yeah, maybe it was a fork ball of some sort. The bottom fell out of it, like
Man.
you mentioned. It short hopped him, and he bobbled it a little bit. And by that time, there were 3 Spartans: Ryan Walsh, Summers, and I'm not even sure who the 3rd one was. I think it might have been John Dobb. Were all right on top of him. Take your pick. Who wants to block it and pick it up? And it was Kevin Summers.
Well, so they do indeed avoid the shutout. Draper will come on for the kick. And Spartans decide to call timeout.
Well,
I think they were one-man
yeah,
shy.
I was going to say, you got to call timeout when you've only got, what is that, 10 guys? 9 guys. There were 9 guys out there.
9. Oh, yes, you're right. Now at the last minute, Bruckner and Jacobs come on after they called the timeout. Well,
Oops.
that was a pretty sparsely populated offensive line,
Well,
wasn't
the
it?
funny thing about it was the Spartans were lined up and waiting for Wartburg to see Wartburg, another player. They only had 10.
Look at this.
And they had one guy run out late as it was. They had their 10th guy run out, and now number 11 just ran out of the field now after the timeout. Both teams were kind of going to run that with a few guys short.
Here we go. Snap's a good one. And the kick is also a good one. So Spartans trail 27-7, but they do get on the board with 2:57 to go in the football game.